Hi guys, I'm Jason, and in today's lab I'll talk about the concept of array. So first of all, I'll talk about why we need to use array. So for example, if you have the height of 5 people that you want to store in your code, you would declare 5 integers of heights. And then you would probably also see in from the user these 5 heights. So this is not really a massive code, but now think about if you want to store the heights of 1,000 people. This 5 here will instead be 1,000. So it will become h1,000, h1,000 here. So you would have like thousands of lines of codes here, and it is obviously not so efficient. So the solution to this is to use an array to store these integers. So an array is a collection of items of a specific data type in consecutive memory under one name. So this is a simple declaration of an array of 5 integers. So first, you would have the type here, and it could be a character, string, double, integer, whatever, and you would have the name here, which is data here, and inside the square brackets, you have the size, which is the number of elements inside the array. So like what I said, the elements are in consecutive memory. So if we were to look at the memory here of this array, it would have 5 chunks together. So the first chunk is also the base address of the array. And this first chunk is the first element. So another important feature of the array is that you would put if you want to access the first element, you would put the 0th index here. So whatever number you want to access, you would -1 to put in the square brackets to access that element. So for the 5th element, you would have to put 4 in the square brackets. So another way to initialize an array, to declare an array, is to put a variable inside. So I put size here, capitalized. So this variable has to be a constant variable. Const integer size equals to 5. So why does this variable need to be constant? It's because so an array needs to know its size at compile time. So if you do like the non-constant integer, it would just lead to a compile error, because you can't just do that. You can't see in a number to be the size of an array. Next, I'll talk about initialization of an array. So let's say you have an array of 5 integers again. So after this declaration, you would have equal to the curly braces. So for example, if I put nothing here, empty curly braces, it would just be a bunch of zeros for its 5 elements. So it is the default value of the data type here, which is integer. If you have a string, an array of 5 strings, it would just be 5 empty strings if you put nothing here. So if you put, for example, 1 here, the first element would be 1, and the rest will be zeros. So you could also put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and it would just become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's how you basically initialize an array. So next, I'll talk about how you access the elements and play with the elements. So if you have an array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so in memory it would become this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if you do see out data square brackets 0, it would just print the first element, which is 1. And if you do maybe 4, it would print out the last element. So you could also see out data square bracket 0 plus data, let's say 2. So that would print out 1 plus the fourth element, 1 plus 4, which is 5. And you also can do post increment for the data, individual data. So if you do data square brackets 3 plus plus, that element would be incremented by 1. So the fourth element it corresponds would be 5 here. And that's, you could also do maybe data 1 equals to data 2. Then the second element would just be the third element value. It becomes 1, 3, 3. So that's how you play around with the elements. And finally, I'll go to the question I talked about in the beginning. So if you want to store 1,000 integers of heights, and to get those values from the user, first you will need to declare an array of size 1,000. So how would you read in the values from the user? So always use a loop to change individual elements. So you would use a for loop. So this is a for loop with 1,000, looping 1,000 times. So then you would just cin into each individual element inside the array. So this would just loop from 0 to 1,000 and cin each data for each element here. So after that, you would just have the array storing all the heights, and then you can do anything you want with them. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching.